Alright, buckle up, Commanders fans, because there's some serious buzz brewing behind the scenes in Washington. We're talking about a rookie who could snatch a starting spot from a seasoned vet, a potential signing that feels like a high-stakes gamble, and a huge name that might just land in DC to turn this offense into pure dynamite. The big question is, are the front office brass ready to risk it all and make these bold moves? Because, my friends, if it pays off, we're looking at a Super Bowl run. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and drop a comment. Would you dare to shake things up this much with such a promising team? When a team drafts an offensive lineman in the first round, it's not just about filling a need, it's because they believe that guy can be a cornerstone for years to come. And that's exactly what the Commanders did with Josh Connolly Jr. But here's the kicker. The kid's a natural tackle. And they've already got Laramie Tunsil and Brandon Coleman locking down the edges. So, what's about to go down in Washington is an all-out battle for a spot on that offensive line. The plan? Kick Connolly inside to guard. The target? Nick Allegretti, who, frankly, had a season that's painful to look back on. Just to give you an idea, the guy had a 42 pass blocking grade on true pass sets according to PFF. That's not just bad, it's almost criminal when you've got a rookie QB like Jaden Daniels who needs a clean pocket to breathe. And that's where Connolly comes in as a potential silent revolution. Back at Oregon, the kid dominated with technique that was borderline artistry. Sure, he still needs to bulk up and find consistency, but his true pass blocking grade over the last 2 years was a solid 77. That's an insane leap in quality, especially for a unit that bled sacks week after week in 2024. But hold on, it's not just about the stats, it's about the vision for the future. The coaching staff already understands that for Jaden to shine with Cliff Kingsbury's creative play calling, he needs a mobile, intelligent, and above all, adaptable offensive line. Allegretti, with all due respect, doesn't bring that to the table. Connolly has all the tools to be that guy as long as he can quickly adapt to the new position. And get this, the competition kicks off next week with rookie minicamp. And you know what? Don't be surprised if the kid leaves as the favorite to win the starting job in training camp. The insiders are saying the coaches are watching closely, and if Connolly shows consistency in footwork drills and blitz pickup, it's going to be tough to keep him on the bench for long. Now think about it with me. Would you risk throwing a rookie in as a starting guard right away, even with some technical adjustments still needed? Or would you stick with a veteran who's already shown his weaknesses and could be a dangerous hole in your QB's protection? The truth is, Dan Quinn and Peters are betting big, but when that roulette wheel spins, we'll just have to see if it lands on black or red. And that wasn't even the most surprising news of the day. Hold tight, because the front office's next decision could set the locker room on fire. You know that decision that you just feel is going to come back to haunt you? Yeah, well, the Commanders' offseason had a lot of hits, but it also left a hole the size of a quarterback sack in the heart of the defense. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody was drafted at edge. And that's right after watching Dante Fowler, the guy who racked up 10 with 5 sacks, puts on that silver and blue Cowboys helmet. Can you feel the pain? Now, as the dust settles, a name is buzzing loudly behind the scenes. Preston Smith, formerly of the Packers and Steelers, a veteran who's had his share of quarterback nightmares, but who's coming off a pretty down 2024. Just 5 sacks in 17 games. The fan base is split. Is he worth it? Let's get straight to the point. Smith has a solid track record. The guy had a 12-sack season, and at his peak was practically unblockable in one-on-one situations. He's got 44 sacks in the last 6 years. That's nothing to sneeze at. But the problem is, he clearly disappeared in 2024, couldn't adapt to either the Packers or Steelers schemes, and ended the year getting unceremoniously released. Is that who you want putting pressure off the edge? Plus, there's the fit. Smith has always thrived in a 3-4 scheme as an outside linebacker. Here in Washington, Dan Quinn wants a 4-3 defense with explosive and quick-reading defensive ends. That could completely stifle the veteran's potential. And there's more. Smith has publicly stated that he doesn't like playing outside his comfort zone, which begs the question, would he even accept coming to a system that doesn't value his style? Or worse, if he does come, will he just be a liability? on the field. But that's where Peters, the new GM, comes into play. The guy has a history of rescuing undervalued talent and fitting them into the right system. And with the market cooling down, Smith would probably come cheap. It's that calculated risk. If it works, you've got a more solid pass rushing rotation. If it doesn't, you cut him without much dead money. The dilemma is both emotional and strategic. Do you bet on a declining veteran with a history of impact? Or do you hope that the current rotational players who have never proven anything in this league can handle the pressure? Because one thing's for sure, without pressure off the edge, there's no Super Bowl, my friend. You can have the best offense in the world, but if the other team has 5 seconds in the pocket, you're dead. And just to heat up the debate even more, there's a big name, a true offensive star who might be on his way to Washington. And this guy could truly elevate this team from pretender to contender overnight. Just imagine, you've built a young, fast, creative offense with Jaden, Daniels ready to explode in the NFL. And then the chance arises to bring in an elite name, one of those players who changes the game from day one. Well, Alvin Kamara could be that guy. And my friends, if this trade goes down, the league is going to have to stop and pay attention to Washington. First, the context. The Saints are crumbling, literally. Derek Carr might miss the entire season with a shoulder injury. And with that, the rebuild starts now. Kamara, at 29, is still performing at a high level. 950 rushing. Yards and 68 receptions for 543 yards in 2024. But on a team in collapse, he becomes a trade asset. And the Commanders are in the perfect spot to pounce on this opportunity. And why Washington? Because the fit with Cliff Kingsbury's system is almost poetic. Forget this talk about Kamara getting old. With the style of play that Kingsbury employs, spread formations, motion, quick passes, and mismatch reads, Kamara becomes a destructive weapon. He can line up in the backfield, in the slot, out wide as a receiver, and still punish defenses with the most dangerous after-catch ability in the NFL. Now look at what we have on the roster. Brian Robinson, who's a good runner but doesn't contribute much in the passing game. Austin Eckler, who basically disappeared in 2024 with less than 400 rushing yards, and rookie Jackery Krosky-Merritt, who might have a future but doesn't solve anything right now. Kamara fills that void and then some. But let's be fair, it's not just flipping a switch and the trade happens. The Saints aren't going to give Kamara away. They're going to want picks, maybe a third-round selection and something conditional. But for a team that's clearly entering rebuild mode and has already drafted QB Tyler Show, accumulating young capital, makes a lot more sense than keeping an expensive veteran on a declining roster. And for Washington, this is about winning now. Daniels is on a rookie contract. The window of opportunity is real. If you believe this offense can explode with the addition of a versatile, experienced, and still productive player, Kamara is the name. And let's be honest, would you rather face the playoffs with Kamara lining up alongside Daniels and Terry McLaurin, or with an ineffective committee that doesn't scare anyone? Because the NFL is relentless. Those who wait too long get left behind. The fan base is already divided. Some are clamoring for Kamara now. Others think the price would be too high. But the question is, do you prefer to risk it all to chase a title or play it safe and end up with nothing? If you still had doubts about where this team could go, they should be gone by now. Connolly could be the missing piece in protecting Daniels. Preston Smith, a risk that could turn into gold. And Kamara. My friends, Kamara is the type of addition that transforms contenders into champions. This Commanders team is already more promising than any version since 2016. Now I want to know, would you have the guts to make these 3 impactful changes? Or would you keep things as they are and bet on natural progression? Drop your comments below, subscribe to the channel, and let's rally this Commanders Nation together.